All right. The Texans' victory was awesome. And I just want to know, comment right now. What was your confidence level of this victory going into this game? You just got done with that shootout victory against the Bucks. How excited were you and how confident were you that you could go into Cincinnati and get a victory? Give me a scale, 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Nobody's beating my Texans. Like, you just let me know, where were you at with this? Now, as you know, on this channel, we love talking about teams that the national media kind of ignores, or small media market teams. I know Houston's not a small city. Also love Houston because my brother-in-law lives there. But anyways, like, let's talk about this. And by the way, I've gone all in on the Texans. I'm in 3 fantasy football leagues, and all 3 of those leagues, my quarterback is now CJ Stroud. All right. I drafted him in one and I traded for him in the other 2. And the quarterbacks I traded away to get him weren't bad quarterbacks. One of them was Josh Allen. Don't worry, I got some more in return. But you're not here to listen to my fantasy football exploits. You're here to figure out why this win was even more impressive than we originally thought, or was even better than expected. I think it was better than expected because it was a young team that went on the road. All right, not a short distance from home. They went on the road to Cincinnati and beat head to head what was the chosen one at quarterback, Joe Burrow. Like, the success him and this Bengals team have had, and the success that they've had lately, and your young gun, CJ Stroud, went in there, not only beat the chosen one, now you could even call him a vet. What is it, his 4th year, 5th year, something like that? He beats one of the best, not even a competition, top 5 quarterbacks in the league. He beats him mano a mano. And by the way, they're both without a starting receiver. So it's like, oh, well, you didn't have T. Higgins. You didn't have Nico Collins. All right. So you get that victory, but the defense steps up. The defense steps up, creating turnovers, making stops. Like, this is unbelievable. So we're going to go through this, but not only that, you now have a rookie quarterback in the MVP talk. What? Like, every team just hopes and wishes that they have a player in the MVP conversation. And the MVP is not, it should be the MVQB. Okay? Because they just give it to quarterbacks. So, as of late, like the last decade. And so you're sitting here, who's the last running back to win it? It was like Sean Alexander or something, like 13 or 11 with the Seahawks. I don't know. But anyways, I've never seen a rookie quarterback even come close to compete for that. I've seen rookie quarterbacks lead good teams to great success. Ben Roethlisberger with the Steelers, things like that. But he wasn't an MVP conversation. This is unheard of. So you die for a quarterback to be in the MVP conversation, but when he's a rookie, I don't know how to contain the excitement. And I got more on this. I'm going to be all over the place on this thing. But, like, let's just talk about that for a second. Let's look at this box score. First off, mano a mano, almost the exact same amount of passes. Stroud turns it into 2 touchdowns with a pick. Burrow has 2 touchdowns with 2 picks. Stroud and Burrow both are sitting there with just one way or the other of 350. He went toe-to-toe with Big Joe. That's the way it goes. But here's what I think is so telling to me. Here's what good quarterbacks do. Tyler Boyd's never been a bad wide receiver over here for the Bengals. He's never been a bad receiver, but 8 catches for 117 yards, that's a really good stat line. Now let's go over here, Noah Brown. He's been unbelievable the last few weeks. Why? CJ Stroud. He never did this in Dallas. He was just the guy who wasn't quite fast enough, or wasn't quite this enough, or wasn't quite that enough. Brown, Tank Dell, doesn't matter. Nico Collins, Robert Woods, who's open? Who's going to have a big game today? Like, that is what Stroud is starting to show as a rookie, and it's really impressive. But let's talk for a second about the team that you beat, and then we'll get back into why your team should be very excited for the future. The team you just beat, the Bengals, they started the year rough, like they do every year. And then Joe started to get healthy. They beat the Cardinals 34-20, but then they beat 3 really good teams in a row. They've won 4 in a row before you guys, but the 3 before you, they beat the Seahawks, then they beat the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. They spanked the 49ers. And then, quite frankly, I know it's only a 6-point game at the end, but they spanked the Bills too. All right. So they not only won these games, but they won them handily. And then you guys came out, you won 30-20. But quite frankly, you beat them better than that. You were up 27-17. There was an interception by CJ Stroud that almost was a pick six, turned into 6, and then they got back in the game. But here's what I saw from your team. Red zone stops when you need it. Held them to a field goal. All right. And then you had a quarterback, a rookie quarterback that's like, I just threw an interception. I could very easily screw this up. But instead, what he did was he did exactly what he did the week before. He drove the team down when he shouldn't have had enough time to drive the team down for a winning score. This time it was a field goal. Last week it was a touchdown. And he just continues to light the world on fire. All right. Slowick, the offensive coordinator, knows what he's doing. Just imagine what this team could be when you get a defense that's a top 10 to 15 defense, which it will be sooner than later. I promise you, and I'm going to tell you why. And you get a running game to back that up, because today you had a running game. Devin Singletary averaged 5 yards, not today, yesterday. Devin Singletary averaged 5 yards a carry on 30 carries. And you saw this offense be almost unstoppable when you could add a solid run game to the already potent passing game. You have a top 10 offense in the league, according to PFF. Your defense ranks 20th. You've had some good defensive games, and you've had some rough defensive games. Okay, that's just kind of the way that goes. But this one was different because your defense played well. It was complementary football. The offense played well. It wasn't like last week when it was just a track meet against the Bucs. You were at home against the Bucs. It was a track meet. And last week was thrilling, and it put CJ Stroud on the national map. We've been talking about him on this channel for quite some time, right? But like, it put him on the national map last week. But this week it puts your team on the national map. Because last week you beat a Tampa Bay team who was 3-4, who was reeling, not playing very good. All right. They were on a 2 or 3 game losing streak going into that game, and you beat them at home. Like, that's a game you should have won. But the Bengals in Cincy, let's go. And then I look at the schedule coming up. Look what you got. You got the Cardinals. You should win that. They got Kyler back. They're better. Don't get me wrong, but you should win that. You got the Jaguars. They're beatable. Big division game. Then you go get some home cooking against the Broncos. You go to the Jets. You go to the Titans. Then you got the Browns. Man, they're playing good. Then you have the Titans again, and you have the Colts. All these division games, all these winnable games. We've talked about this 100 times on this channel, or 5. It's a good schedule. It's a really good schedule. I'm not saying this is a Super Bowl team right now. Okay. I think you're a year or 2 away. I think there needs to be some talent upgrade. All right. Which you will have. You continue to have picks. There's going to be a talent upgrade. All right. There's going to be some maturity that will be added with Will Anderson, with Stroud. It's probably going to get even better. There are young pieces that are already core pieces that you don't have to pay for a while. So you can start adding some veteran help around it. Look out. This team is legit. This team is going to be scary. Really excited to watch them, and I hope you are too. Thanks for watching the channel. If you haven't yet already subscribed to this channel, we're going to be bringing you Texans content for a really long time. All right. We love watching this team. All right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.